very interesting weekend, so things kind of went a little awry for me, but we should be able to get this up and still have enough time for you guys to be able to do what needs to be done. We're in Module 2, Lesson 4 today, so here's the thing. I'm not going to go over the classwork example 1 because this is something that I believe you can do. We will discuss this tomorrow morning in class, so you better be prepared and have your answers. Reminder again, your books are going to be available to you Monday and Tuesday from 8 to 3. So if your parents can come up here and pick up your books, get it done as quickly as possible. So it's 8 to 3 tomorrow. Got it? 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday and Tuesday. Okay? So those are going to be the hours that you're able to come and get your books. So make sure your parents can come up here and get them. If they cannot come up here and get them, Mr. Davis and the teachers will find a way that we can get this to work out. Okay, do not worry. We'll figure something out. It may be an afternoon on a weekend or something like that, but we'll figure out something. We'll get you guys squared away. Okay, even if that means Mr. Hale has to stay after from 4 to 7 to give you guys a chance to come up here and get your books for your parents. That's what we'll do. Okay, so don't stress it. Classwork example 1. This quite literally will be a classwork activity. So you are going to, well, more like a homework activity. I want you to work on this problem tonight if you can. So here's the problem in its whole set. You've got those two parts right there. Okay, then you've got these two down here. All right, so you've got just here, you got 6 separate parts. So just pause the video and answer the questions. I'm going to go ahead and flip over again. You've got these 3 here, 7 and 8, and then they've got part B. Represent the sum of 3 plus a -5 using arrows that represent 3 and a -5, -3 and -5 on the number line. And you got these parts that you need to work out. Okay, so these need to be done. And last but not least, these are your last couple parts that you need to do on your own tonight. No reason why you cannot get this done. I have faith in you, especially if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, there is a reason why I postponed doing this lesson and not combining it with last lesson. It's this next part right here, okay? It says, rule, add rational numbers with the same sign by adding absolute values and using the common sign. Now, you learned about absolute values last year in 6th grade. Okay, the common sign. That, in other words, that means what sign both numbers are using. Okay, so let's go through and do some of this the easy way. Okay, +5 plus a +9. Okay, that's simple. That's going to be 14. But 14, is it going to be positive or negative? Well, that's easy. We know that to be positive. All right. What about down here at part 5? +3, +5, +7. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 7, 15. 15, positive, negative. Well, all three numbers are positive, so the answer is going to be positive. Okay. Now that's the easy ones of getting those out the way because the rest of them I'm going to explain to you what's going on, okay? So it says add rational numbers with the same sign by adding the absolute values and then using the common sign. So the absolute values of a -4 to -2. Well, remember, absolute value measures a distance. So how far is a -4 from 0? Okay, well that's 4 units. Plus, how many units is a -2 from 0? Correct, 2 units. So 4 plus 2 is going to equal 6. Then it says in the second part, using the common sign. Okay. So, all right, so the question then is, both of these are negative numbers. That is the common sign. So that means the answer is a -6. So we get a negative as our answer. Okay. So if it's got the same sign, the answer is going to be that sign. Okay. -6 plus a -3. Negative and a negative, the answer will be negative. Okay. -1 plus a -11. Negative, negative, the answer will be a negative. Okay. Same signs when you're adding and subtracting. Same signs, you're going to have that kind of answer. Negative signs gives you a negative answer. Positive signs give you a positive answer. This rule only applies to addition and subtraction. Multiplication and division operate differently, and I will show you that when we get to those lessons. Negative 20 plus a negative 15. Negative plus a negative gives us a negative. Okay? Whoops. It would help if I actually knew how to write an E. So a negative. So again, remember, this only works with addition, okay, and subtraction. Only, okay? Only. Do not confuse this when we get to multiplication and division. This rule only applies to addition and subtraction. All right, continuing on. All right, so now we got part B. It says find the sum. Okay, well, 15 plus 7. 15 plus 7 is going to equal 22. Is it positive or negative? It's a positive 15 plus a positive 7 gives us a positive 22. Okay? A negative 4 plus a negative 16. We got two negatives. We need to find the absolute values. Negative 4 is 4 units from 0 plus a negative 16 is 16 units from 0. So we're adding 16. 4 plus 16 equals 20. Is my answer a positive 20? No, it is not. Both are negatives, so my answer is negative. All right? Both are negative, my answer is negative. See again, negative 18, negative 64. Both are negative, my answer is negative. So what's 18 plus 64 going to be? Okay, well, I know 10 plus 64 is 74. 8 plus 74 is 82, so my answer is a negative 82. Okay, negative 205 plus a negative 123. Again, both are negative, so my answer remains negative. So I'm asking myself, what is 205 plus 123? Okay, well, 205 plus 123. 3 plus 5 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my answer is a negative 328. Okay, see how this is working? Same signs, answer's that going to be that sign. So both negative, answer's negative. Both are positive, answer remains positive. Okay? So continuing on, we got part A. For example 2, rule for adding opposite signs. Represent 5 plus a negative 3 using arrows on the number line. Okay, well, we know we always start at 0, so I'm going to go 5 units to the right because it's a positive 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. My next number is a negative 3. So starting at a positive 5, I'm going to go 3 units to the left because it's negative. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. My answer is a positive 2. Okay, so how long is the arrow that represents 5? Well, we know that's 5 units because it's 0 to 5. What direction is it point? Well, we just wrote that. So the direction is right. How long is the arrow that represents a negative 3? Is it a negative 3 units? No, it's not, because we have talked about this. Absolute value equals distance, okay, and distance is always positive. All right, so the arrow is 3 units long. What direction does it point? Well, we're going in the negative direction, so it's going to be left. Okay? Again, if you have problems or you're having issues, you can sit there and ask the questions in the morning time, or you can send me an email after you watch the video. Okay? So now the question for part 5. Which arrow is longer? Well, it's the one for value equals 5. What is the sum? If you were to represent the sum using an arrow, how long would the arrow be and what direction would it point? Well, we know the sum was 2. If you were to represent the sum using an arrow, the arrow would be 2 units long, and it would be pointing to the right because it's a positive answer. Okay? Now, I'm going to keep my mouth closed for this one because I want us to do this in class tomorrow. So this is going to be classwork tomorrow, okay? This one's classwork. We will do this together tomorrow morning in class, okay? All right, exercise 3, okay? Circle the integer with the greater absolute value. Decide whether the sum will be positive or negative without actually calculating the sum. Okay, so we're looking for the greater absolute zero. So what it's saying is if both numbers were positive, which one's bigger? Okay, which one has the greatest value? So a -1 and +2. Absolute values would be 1 plus 2. So which number is bigger? The 2. Okay, that would mean that my sum is most likely going to be positive. And I know that because 2 is the positive number in this problem. Give me a second, guys. We're going to focus back in. There we go. All right, so look at the next one. 5 plus a -9. Which number has the greater absolute value? 5 or -9? Now, I know some of you are saying 5. Okay? 5 is the largest value because it's positive. But you remember, with greater absolute value, we're looking at which number would be larger if they were both positive. Okay? And in this case, a -9 has the greater absolute value. And since it has the greater absolute value, my answer would be negative. Whatever number is the largest positive number, whatever sign that number is with is going to be the sign that's going to be in the answer. Okay, so again, look at -6 plus 3. -6 has the negative sign. Okay, so now the question is which number is larger, 6 or 3? Okay, 6 is. Since 6 is larger, the negative sign stays with the answer, so the answer remains negative. Okay, -11 plus 1. Which number is larger? Okay, without the values. Okay, so look at it again. So we got 11 and 1. Which number is larger? 11 is. Okay, does 11 have the negative sign? It does. So that means my answer would remain negative. All right. Now, here's your next 4 problems. Okay, this is going to be, excuse me, this is your homework tonight. I want you to work these 4 problems. I want you to determine which values. I want you to find out what the value would be. -10 plus 7, 8 plus a -16, -12 plus 65, 105 plus -126. Find the answer and determine whether or not the answer is going to be positive or negative by putting the correct sign with it. Okay? You can pause this video and write down the problems. Okay? All right. So, Mr. Hale went too fast and pulled out pages from his book. All right. So let's see. All right, so applying integer addition rules to rational numbers. So find the sum of 6 plus a -2 and 1/4. The addition of rational numbers follows the same rules of addition for integers. So find the absolute values of the numbers, okay? Well, the absolute values of the numbers are going to be 6 and 2 and 1/4, okay? So those are going to be the answers, 6 and 2 and 1/4. Those are the absolute values because that's how far those numbers are from 0. So subtract the absolute values, okay? 6 minus 2 and 1/4. Well, I don't like this, okay? So I'm going to show you something else. I like doing it like this. So if I do 6 minus 2 and 1/4, that means I've got to borrow or, break 6 apart a little bit, okay? So I'm going to take 5 instead, minus 2 and 1/4. Well, if I'm borrowing a whole from 5, that means I got to put the whole right here. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. And the denominator stays the same. So it's 3 3/4. Now the answer will take the sign of the number that has the greater absolute value. We know that the greater absolute value is going to be 6. So the answer is going to be 3 3/4 positive. Okay? That's all there is to it. All right, we're going to skip exercise 4. We're not going to worry about that. We are going to, so let's go through a quick lesson summary here. Okay, so let's go through this together. So when adding integers with the same sign, You add the absolute values and use the common sign. All right, so steps to adding integers with opposite signs. Find the absolute values, subtract the absolute values. The answer will take the sign of the integer that has the greatest absolute value. To add rational numbers, you're going to follow the same rules as adding integers. Okay? So my mouth is closed. We're not going to be doing this for homework tonight. Okay? This is a classwork assignment. We're going to do this together in class. Okay? So this is going to be a we do together, and this is going to be a you do together, or you do on your own. Okay? So be prepared. All right? No cheating and no skipping. All right? We'll get there when we get there. All right? Sweet short lesson tonight. So it should be something that you should be able to get to pretty quick and be able to have questions for tomorrow. Any questions you have, make sure you write them down on your sheet of paper so you can ask them without being, like hesitating. Like, Mr. Hale, yeah, Mr. Hale, yeah, this is my question, Mr. Hale. None of that for me tomorrow, okay, guys? Make sure you write down your questions so we can make them quick and easy and out the door, okay? Appreciate it, guys. Hope you had a good weekend. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow.